boy, there's a really cool plane available in Aerofly. I'm so happy I finally bought a new iPad. So welcome. Happy Friday night, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of All About Aviation show network, whatever you want to call it. But Aerofly has just come out with this A350, and it is way better than a lot of the airplanes that are already in this simulator. If you want to learn more about this airplane, go to aerofly.com. Under features, go to aircraft, and it gives you kind of a rundown: the physics, sound, fly-by-wire controls, the 3D models and animations, the cockpit, ECAM, TFFF, the auto flight system, the flight management system, airport navigation. I mean, it has almost as many features as Microsoft Simulator. It is fucking ridiculous. I have never seen anything from Aerofly on this level before, and I've been playing Aerofly for probably 10 years. No, not 10. Probably 5 or 6 years. I want to say. What are we in 2025 now? Yeah, probably since 2018 or 19. I've been using this. So, now the flight we're recreating is going to be this Air Caraibes flight, 510 from Orly, France to Martinique. Now, the problem you run into with this simulator are waypoints. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a moment. So here's the route. I did it in SimBrief, pretty close to the route in real life. If you're going to do this kind of stuff where you're trying to match flights from real life into Aerofly, you're not really going to be able to do it, because a lot of the waypoints that are in here do not exist in Aerofly, or it's got old arrival information. Like, to give you an idea, like this arrival that we have here, this arrival doesn't exist in Aerofly. We have something close. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me open. Now, hopefully this works the whole time. I'm screen sharing, so it's all wireless. Hopefully it'll work right. If not, I'll just have to record videos like I usually do, and put them up. Okay, so here's Aerofly here, right? So to give you an example, like we had, we'll just use this approach here, this arrival here as an example. We have UMA M2X, right? So let's go back here and let's put in our takeoff. Oh, hang on. This should be TFFF. I wonder why it's not picking up the sound. Well, we'll just continue for now. Okay. So let's plug this in. Let's create. We have runway 10. We have our ILS. Now, another thing you got to watch out too sometimes is that sometimes the frequencies, like how it has 109.90, sometimes it has the wrong frequency scheme as well. But if you look at arrival, like the closest one that I can find is CF, this one here. Right, that UMA one does not exist. It only goes down to S's. Now, one thing I think is pretty cool in Aerofly, if you double tap on like I think they do it on arrivals. Yeah, if you double tap on the like the departures, it tells you which runways you can use it for. Another thing that's fucked up in this game is that, like, they're using runway 8 here. It's runway 7 in real life, I believe. So there are some differences, but let me just make sure that we actually have sound. Let me erase this route. Start us. Start right. Start here. Let me start with the engines on just to see if I can. Oh yeah, we can hit it. All right, very good. Okay, let me restart this now, and we're gonna jump in this thing, and this thing is loaded with features, man. fly now, and conditions. Time this bitch leaving real 12 o'clock. Pretty close to you. It should be right dead point there. Okay, wind, clouds, that's fine. Let's go to location again, cold and dark, fly now. Put it on my belly. That's how I fly. Fly with it on my belly. Yeah, man, I mean, this thing looks so freaking good. For a mobile game, this thing is crazy. So let's go ahead. We're already connected with ground power. You got to remember, this is not Microsoft Simulator, so it's not going to have all the same, you know, functions, I guess, you know, that Microsoft has. This is mobile game. So, all right, let's do battery 1 and battery 2. External 1, external 2. Do emergency batteries. Food supply. Put on our nav logo light. I mean, actually no, we can put that on auto. We'll put the strobes on auto. Got nav on. Let's come alive. Good. Go ahead and align the IRS. Good. Here, let me open up Navigraph and see what some of the cost index stuff is. All right, let's go. Now for the most part, this navigation system works pretty much identical to what A380 is in this game. Put the flight number, Foxtrot, Wilco, India, 0, sure. Good. From we have LFPO. No Navigraph, no sim brief integration, none of that shit. No VATSIM, no say intentions, just flying. TFFF. And our alternate, we can put in LPLA. That's the first one. We don't have to worry about company routes or any of that. Now our cruising altitude tonight is 34, 30. So we're going to go to 38,000 feet eventually. We're going to be doing it in steps. So right now, let's put in 38,000. It's going to be our ultimate altitude. Let's do FL 380. Enter. You have economy mode or long range cruise. We'll do long range cruise. Cost index according to Tim Brief is 15. All right, trip wind, let's try that first. 343 by 20. Okay, 343 by 020. All right, we'll just put in 20 knots then. 020. All right, wind, turn. All right, so it doesn't let you put in a cost index. That's no big deal. Let's go to departure. Have, let's see here, runway 8. SID is LGL3B. Position, temporary flight plan. Now let's go to FFF. Our runway, we have runway 10. ILS. The Eric's star is CF5K. No transition is kind of grayed out. We can put it in. Now we're going to enter some waypoints in. So go ahead and click on LGL. We're going to insert next waypoint. Type in Roland. Now I'm typing in more waypoints than I usually would use tonight, just because I might leave it flying for a little while, like cruising. You can listen to it. But if you see my videos with this, didn't take Roland. I hate when the game does this. I picked this waypoint from their system, and it won't let me put it in now. Guess they never fixed this part of it, or you're entering waypoints. Sometimes it just doesn't take. All right, I did die deck. That we don't need to do all of them. Let's scroll up a little bit. Die deck. Let's waypoint. Got a chemo. That one's good. For chemo, we have Gonan. Gonan didn't work. Let's try typing in 2255 north. I know this is not how it is in real life. This is how it is in the game. Alright, it didn't like that either. Alright, let's put in the last waypoint then, Azar, which is right before our arrival. Hit Tazar. The weird thing is you can actually go back to, hang on one second, discontinuity. Let's delete this. Now we have a complete flight plan. The weird thing is if we were to go back now and go back to navigation, right? If I type in Roland, look. No. Oh, it's ROLEM. I guess I wrote it down wrong. But either way, like Gonan, this is over here. Here's a chemo. Gonan was down here. Yeah, right here. Like I can plug it in now, right? And I can plug in Roland now too. I guess I'll do that now. If you zoom out and you click on these, it'll like give you like a list that's all like around your area, which is pretty nice. All right, where's Roland at again? Okay, let me type it in. Uh-oh. All right, Tazar, and then I might as well type in 2255 north. And 1859 north. By the way, this is just a regular, this is a brand new iPad, but it's just a regular iPad, not an iPad Air. It's not any of that shit. All right, let's go back to start. Now, everything is now in our flight plan here. Back to initialization. I was able to get the trip wind in here, if I can get it in here now. Oh. Let's go back to flight plan. Plan info. Damn, I thought I was able to get the wind brought in here at some point. It's been wrong. All right, trip wind, let's try 20 again. It just doesn't let you put anything in there. That's okay. There are some features that are not working in this. Mainly the features with this tablet over here. But before we turn the everything on, let's just look at this here. So you can use this view offside button here. So let's say we're in takeoff performance. If we want to go back to the main, let's click on that button and it brings us back to the main screen. Okay. Now there's a charts feature in here which is not fully implemented yet. Go to terminal charts here. Right. I mean, we have these buttons here that look like they work, but it's not fully implemented yet, and it says the same thing on their website as well. So let's actually plug in. Okay. Takeoff, landing, load sheet, terminal chart, flight plan, ops menu, libraries and route, terminal chart, load crew. Don't work either. Catering, miscellaneous. Okay, let's plug in LFPO. L. O. Twirly. We have runway 7. Wind right now is, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the like button, please. All right, we are looking at 90 by 6. Now this does not use real life weather and shit, so this doesn't really matter what you plug in here. This is just for practice, I guess. All right, so we have 090 by 6 knots. 6. Done. Next, outside air temperature right now is 10 degrees, so 10. Done. Next, UNH and hectopascals is 1017. Next, we have dry conditions. Anti-ice is off. Don't know our takeoff weight yet. We'll get that here in a moment. Let's actually start APU and figure out what our weights and shit are here. Bring up the APU menu. Master. Start. Turn emergency lights. Turn signs on. I'm not going to touch the QNH either right now. There's no reason to, like, it doesn't use live weather, so there's really no reason to use it. Supposedly this has brake to vacate as well. Like, it's a pretty wild system this thing has, but it, from what I've seen. Let's go to plan. Zoom in. Yeah, look, we can zoom in. Pretty cool. Wade. And the 2 are off. APU is almost on. Alright, APU is on. We heard the chunk. So it switches power for you. Oh, it didn't do it this time. Alright, let's put bleed on. I'll turn off the external power. Now we're running on our APU power. Don't think we're able to actually plug in like weights and information. Unload. I guess we can plug it in here. Okay. All right. So according to Navigraph, we have here 69,197 for fuel. We have 69.2. You might be able just to tap on it. You used to be able just to tap on the thing and it would put it in. Yeah, it doesn't do it on this one. That's okay. All right, zero fuel weight is 195. And a zero fuel weight center of gravity is let me go into SimBrief and do the takeoff calculate. See if it shows here. If not, I'll just make it up. Okay. Welcome. Port note. I want performance from last flight. Calculate. Zero fuel weight center of gravity. No, it doesn't. All right, we'll leave the. I'm not sure what to put there. Does it do it automatically? All right, we'll just plug in a number. We'll just do like 29.6. The taxi fuel is. Let's see here. Minimum taxi takeoff is $4.99, so 4.9, so we'll just say 5. That's all done. We have long range. We have a cruise index of 20. We can't alter that. No problem. All right, so we have 24.3 tonnage here. Takeoff weight. Takeoff weight 259.2. Let's plug that in. Okay, very good. Toga flex. Now, according to SimBrief, we have a assumed temperature of 55. Let's plug that in. We'll do minimum and conditioning. We'll do. Can leave it on for takeoff. All right, compute. There we go. Now we can't do anything with MEL or CDL, but we do have here, so we can plug that in. So we have 170, 74, and 79. That seems like. Let's take out this flex temperature. Let's just do turbo and thrust. Standard. Same thing. 170, 74, and 79. Let's go down here to permits. 170. $74. 179. I'm gonna do toga. Anti-ice off, packs on. Now, I tried for the life of me to get the system to work here. the THS for the trim. I can't for the life of me get it to put a number in. Not going to make a difference in Aerofly. It's not Microsoft Simulator. But let me just try one more time. Let me try like up 0. Up. Yeah, nothing goes in here. I've tried so many. I've tried every which way I can think of. 0. Up. Can't type letters in. Alright, we'll just leave it blank. It's no big deal. Alright, so we have our takeoff performance. Now, eventually, we're going to be able to have charts here. Like, there's supposed to be charts here under clip management. Oh, wait a minute. This wasn't here earlier today. Let's do... Did. Holy shit, is this working now? I can't believe it. Alright, what do we have? Takeoff. What's the one? Oh, LGL3. Not Takeoff. LGL... Oh, let me see what it is here on Navigraph. What the chart number is. 10-3L. No, we're not going to have the same one. Alright, let me just look for LGL. EE. There we go. Ow. Alright, very good. And taxi, we don't need a taxi. Let's go back. Alright, chart. Well, doesn't seem like it's working all the way yet. Yeah. Doesn't look like it's working all the way yet. That's okay. Eventually this will work. That's what they say. I know better than that. I don't think it's ever going to work, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's ever going to work in this system, but because they don't really do updates that often. I'll have to get back on the forums and see what I can find out. But all right, aircraft. Let me put in the flight number. We're getting ready to start the engines up by FWI 510. Probably should have did this shit in the beginning. All right, then we have TFFF. Visualization. This is crazy, man. There are so many features with this thing. A lot of them don't work. But one day, stuff's going to work in here. And it's going to be awesome. Alright, let's get the engine started up and let's get out of here. So, go ahead and put on the rest of the fuel tanks. Backs are off. Beacon lights on. Start up engines. Engine. ECAS. Of. Engine 1 is good. Engine 2. Alright, engines are on. Packs back on. APU off. Put our taxi light on. Arm the spoilers. I mean the flaps. Double tap on the grounds here. The ground spoilers, double tap on that. Come in. Auto brake, RTO. And now let's start configuration. Flight control, pitch, trim. Oh, is in disagreement. Hang on a second. Sure is. Alright, we gotta fix it. Takeoff 32.7. Just the trim. I wonder if I can plug it in here now. There we go. In there now. Oh, bitch. There we go. Now let's try takeoff again. Take off normal. All right, let's get out of here. Taxi. Now I'm gonna put something. Hang on, let me go back to settings real quick. General flight information. Or I think that's gonna put on the stuff so I can fly it outside. Very good. That's all good. Let's park and brake. Lock the door. No, we gotta lock the door. Alright. Go, we're moving. Can't believe they have an A350 now. So awesome. I've really missed this flight simulator. Like, I spent so many years on this thing. So many years before Microsoft, and I played X-Plane on iPads and mobile devices too, but I don't like the amount of flange that this simulator always puts on its engine. Like, it shouldn't sound like that. I do like that they have a pushback feature now. They didn't have that up until recently. Pushback feature is pretty nice. It's on some of the airports. You would notice it. It's got like the white airplane with the arrows. It's pretty cool. I believe we're going to be making a turn up here. Yeah, we're going to turn up here. Now I have the pixels down to 80%. Maybe that's why the ground looks a little bit like it does. And I have it locked at 30 frames a second. I was running at 60 frames with no problem, but it was destroying my battery. Like, it was killing the battery. This thing is brand new. But for the battery to be destroyed brand new, it's pulling a lot of data. I locked it at 30 frames, which is fine for streaming this. That flight management system in the beginning is pretty much exactly the same in this game as the A380 is. Air Caraibes 510 holding short runway 7. Ready for departure. Runway ahead, that's pretty cool. I love taking off this camera angle. Turn it. Okay, take off. We're gonna take off from this camera angle, I think. I like doing that. I want to make sure we're lined up enough. That's close enough. Oh, bitch. Alright, landing gear up. Oh shit! Climb! 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 flaps up. Throttle climb is on. Fly manually for a little bit. Let's line up with the flight director. And we'll fly it manually till we make this work. Close to the top of descent. That's how we do it with this simulator. Look pretty good in this game. Out of clouds, the weather, traffic. The traffic I turned down like to half because that chews up frame rate, but clouds and all that shit, weather, I just left it alone. I turned up turbulence a little bit, just a touch. Other than that, I left everything alone, but those clouds are damn good to me. We gotta turn off our lights and shit. We're over 10,000 feet. Now, while this is climbing, let's work on our descent here. So we got runway 10. Do all that later. Landing CG. Wait. Guess we'll do that as we get a little closer. But you know, it doesn't really matter because it's not live anyways, the weather. So let's just go ahead and plug in what the weather is now here. Variable by 3 knots, so headwind for this runway would be just the 295, 275. 275 by 3 we'll say. Let's, you know what, we'll do this out of the water. Currently it is how many degrees? 26. pretty dope. It works better than some of the planes in Microsoft, I can tell you that. So let's that standard. Oh shit, the declutter button works. But that's for the heads up display. I forgot we have one. You had to do both sides. I'll do all three. Works pretty well. Cool, man. I like a lot of the features that we got on here. I mean, in some ways I like it better than Microsoft's. Or any builds, actually. The interior looks really good to me. Oh, I forgot to turn that mission off. Oops, we need to restart the whole flight. Sure, it's pretty cool looking. Look at all the little screens that it has. Flight control. Oh shit! We can actually click on this. Dude, that is dope as hell. Look at that. It's got wheel pressure. Brakes. Fuel. Oh, a little secret with fuel in this game. Yeah, man, I can do that, Mikhail. I don't know if you're still watching. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat too much. Yeah, I can do that, man. Absolutely, we can do that tomorrow. Max and the Dreamliner, those are awesome planes. Absolutely, Mikhail, we will do that. We'll do that tomorrow. Maybe we'll do both. Yeah, that is awesome. You can click on this screen. One thing I'll tell you in this game, if you ever run out of fuel, I'll show you the easiest way to refuel your airplane. This is fucking awesome. Oh, look at that. Oh, man, we're catching the flight attendants in the back doing shit they shouldn't. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the main screen here. We're going to go to navigation. I'm going to zoom out. We're just going to all the way over here. This is what I wish Microsoft Flight Simulator had. Wish they had something like this. We're going to just click on the spot here. Oh, I got to go to location. All right, location. Come over here. Anytime you do this in this game, this always refuels your airplane to whatever the default fuel is. Okay, so we're at 38,000 feet. Our cruising out. The stepped altitude, according to the flight plan, it was going to be like 27,000. Then we could go to 29. But anyway, so we have here for a good ways before the top of descent. Put it there. Top of descent. And then now one thing you have to do when you start again is you're going to have to rearm the autopilot. Let me put this on my belly. That's how we do it. Fly. Calibrate. And autopilot. Everything will do its thing again. Let's go down here and let's do our landing. Alright, and look, one thing with this is that when you do this, it's gonna fill in all the blanks for the wind. We're gonna put dry because I don't know what it is. It's got our landing weight in there already. All fields must be complete. There we go. So we got an approach of 154. Maximum landing weight 236 tons. We may update this as we get closer. In flight, we are dispatch. And we're also going to do brake to vacate as well. We're going to set that up too. We'll do it after we begin our descent. We got about 30 some miles until we start descending. And according to our approach, we need to get down to about 6,000, about 2,000 feet. Let's plug in 2,000. Obviously, they wouldn't do this in real life, like move it all the way down to 2,000. We're not in real life. We're in simulator. We can do this. And once we get close to this line, we're just going to push this button in here, and that, like, just tap on this and just move your finger forward. And that should start making the airplane go down. Then we'll set up our brake to vacate. If you're not familiar with what brake to vacate is, it's on Aerofly's page. It explains it for the A350, but essentially, you know, different than Boeing's, where Boeing's has like auto brake 1, 2, 3. You know, Airbus has 1, 2, 3. This one has an auto brake, runway condition, and braking action. So we'll do it. We're gonna zoom in on this map, on this display here, for our airport, and we're gonna choose the runway we're landing at and where we want to exit the runway from. Plug all that in, activate it. Then as we're landing, and after we do the flare and the rollout, it'll apply the auto brakes with enough pressure that we can get off the runway at the point we chose. If you want to be real lazy about it, we have this little guy here on the right. He's your autopilot guy. He can fly the whole route for you if you want. Just tap on him and tap on the on button and he'll go to town right for you. And these engines sound good, don't they? Can't tell you how happy I am playing this game again, man. It's fucking awesome. I have missed this game so much. Yes, it's way different than Microsoft. Yes, it's way different than X-Plane. It's not meant to be like those. It's meant to be this. Jump in, fly, and register. Oh. Oops. Well, that unregistered is going to be there because the mirror thing that I'm using is not registered. Feel like paying the $8 for it until I knew it was going to work. Oh shit, we gotta start descending. There we go. Pulling back a bit, we can see that up here. Beginning our descent. Alright, so now what we're going to do is let's put our multi-display on plan. We're going to zoom all the way in. Here's runway 10. Right. So let's click on this little arrow down here on the bottom right. Go. Display airport, we got that. Landing. Dry. We're going to click on the 10. We already have that chose. Good, let's zoom in. And I guess we'll choose... Well, it doesn't really have a place to vacate on here. We'll set this as the exit here. Now you can see we have this line. Actually, we'll set it here. Very good. That's our exit point. Come over here. Okay, we have... Action good. Go dry. Set that. And now let's push the auto brake. And now you can see under mark we have BTV for brake to vacate. Now our system is set for brake to vacate for landing. Also want to make sure we have the right info in here for landing. So we have ILS is 109.9. Come down here, let's go to, so let's set this up. We got below, since we're descending, traffic. Okay, so it already has 109.9 and 97. Now I think it's supposed to be 95, but it is what it is. So it's already got that in there. You can try to put in the identity if you want. The identity is FF. Let's see what happens. Of course, we'll do 95. That's what it shows here. That's good. Go to performance. Approach. Wind of, what do we say, 275. Like 6 knots. Outside air temperature again was, let's see, 26. You don't have to put this information in, by the way, in this game. Fun to practice though. And we have 360 here. Transition altitude is 9,000. Approach mode, thank you. Coast Islands here. The assistance, like, only thing I have is, oh, I do have auto rudder on, but like trim, like there was no really place to change the trim on this, but I have everything else off except for rudder, just because there's no real place to control the rudder unless I'm using a controller, which I don't really want to do anymore. I used to use my PlayStation controller, but I don't feel like using it anymore. Not unless I really need to. The reason I was doing it before is because people were asking to see the click spots. It was easy to set that up on there with the click spots. There was like this sort of assistive feature where it had like a dot that would show up on the screen, and the controller used to be able to move that dot. That was before the global version of this game. Now with the global version of this game, it doesn't work that way anymore. So I just use, my finger on here and holding the iPad and turning it. Some people like to use the directional arrows on the screen here that you can set up. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather just turn it, push it forward, and pull it back. A little fast. See on here, it's got our rollers up halfway. seatbelts back on. They're already on anyways. Ding bong. I know at one point this game, when they had the scenery things you would have to download, like they used to have these things where you have to download the scenery. It used to be like almost right on point with Google Maps, one for one, like what you would see. It was pretty wild. It's a couple of years ago. Oh, the unregistered went away. Here as well. I don't think it does anything, but oh shit, look at that. That's cool. That's dope as hell, look at that. We don't have that on Microsoft, I don't think. Alright, let's just go ahead and change the pressure now. It doesn't matter. It's really at 9,000 feet, but it doesn't matter in this game. I'm not adjusting the pressure anyways. You can if you want to, but it'll fuck up your landing. Get the chrono button works. No shit. That's cool. Slow down to 250. Let's put some speed brakes back up again. Let's get down to 250. We don't need to look up. We can see them. We can see it on the top left of the screen. The indicated airspeed. Once we get down to around 260, we'll go ahead and turn off the spoilers again. If you wait till you get to like 250 and then move the spoilers back, then the engines will start kicking back on again. Doesn't matter. I mean, if you want to do it that way, you can. It's not like I'm not gonna break the airplane. Fucking simulator. You can see our power's increasing right now, so let's go ahead and speed brakes off. Now you can see our power is pulling back a bit. We just need to just sit on back and just chill. We'll keep bringing the sending for us. Now you can see in this circle up on the top left, it has our indicated airspeed. Got our trim 2.6 up. It's got our speed 250. You know, our constraint 250 below flight level 100. Got our power next to it. That's what a power engine is. We got our map on the right with our horizon indicator and our flight director. If you want to be lazy, you can just turn on the autopilot here. I'm not going to do it, and just let your pilot, you know, the co-pilot, just our Giga Chad, let him land the plane for us. Good old Giga Chad. Good for one thing, slopping up his hair with hair gel. Activate approach mode here pretty soon. Once we start turning the final and we get ready to start extending our flaps out, we're going to activate approach mode. That just helps keeps the speed down. You know, part of this simulator, I mean, it's good practice with the buttons and using some of the systems, but for the most part, it's just jumping in and flying. All the airplanes. And that big turn we're getting ready to make, that big right-hand turn coming up, our left-hand turn, that's our turn to the airport. Activate approach mode now. Let me do that. Approach mode is activated. I'm going to click on approach now as well. Just go back and chill in the back. You can really just sit back here now for the rest of the flight if you wanted to. Oh, Unregistered is back. Hello, Unregistered. I missed you. Thank you for showing up right in the middle of my screen. Now on the top left here, you can see the speedometer. You see that little red triangle, like where 11 o'clock would be? I believe that's the speed that we're trying to get down to right now. And the white arrow is our indicated airspeed right now. Pretty sure what that is. That's what that is. I'm not doing anything with spoilers or anything right now. We're just letting the airplane just slowly descend and slowly come down to approach speeds here. Still got a few miles. 5 miles to our turn. I'm thinking this thing on the upper right, you know, the rose compass, 10 miles. So I don't know if it's 10 miles from like south to north or if it's 10 miles in that little circle. I think it is 10 miles the whole circle, and the little circle is 5 miles. We're getting ready to make a big turn. Big old left-hand turn. Down to our speed now. Still no flaps. No reason for them yet. Probably could go flaps 1, but it's okay. We'll leave flaps out of it for now. Can't wait to eat my dinner, man. It's been staring at me for a couple hours now. I usually on Friday nights get this Korean bowl. Fucking awesome. White rice, gogi, steak, spicy chicken, pickled radish, carrots, edamame, black beans, corn, sweet and spicy sauce. A little drop of yum yum sauce on that bitch. That's some good eating. I'm gonna tear that shit up. I'm hungry too, man. I haven't eaten much at all today, actually. Alright, we're getting ready to turn, I think. Thinks we get ready to turn. All right, now you can see on the top left, the limit is now 220, and that's per our flight plan. All right, let's go flaps 1. That's very strange that our that our arrow here is facing the other way. It should be facing. Landing gear down. Flaps 2. Flaps 3. I hope there's a runway here. That'd be some shit. We do this whole flight and there's no runway. You never know with some of these smaller airports in this game. Sometimes they just don't exist. I don't really give a shit if we land or not, to be honest. The flight was fun. I love using this airplane. I actually like it here more than Microsoft. Alright, we gotta get set up for the belly landing. Bear with me a second here. And second autopilot. And we're gonna go out. Start. My belly. When you hear me on my video say we get ready for a belly land, that's what I'm talking about. Put it right in the belly. let's fly manually. Flight director's office. Maybe it was 96. First was 96 instead of 95. Find out in a minute. Hey, there's the runway right there.
Above 400 minimum 300 200 100 70 60 50 40 30 20 retard, auto brake off.
Wasn't too bad. I don't think that might have been a tough landing. I don't know. All right, let's check out this landing here. Go back, look at it from this point of view. Too bad, first time landing this thing. Hey, look at that bird. Look how sexy that thing is. That's not bad. Hey man, that's a pretty damn good landing, I think. I mean, we're not really on the center line, but whatever. Hi. That's pretty cool, man. Let's check out another check it out from this point of view. Hold your eardrums. Taken. That's not bad. Welcome to Martinique, bitches. We made it. All right, that ends the show for tonight. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. We'll be back tomorrow. I think we will do the 737 MAX for sure tomorrow. I like that. I like that idea. We're gonna do a 737 MAX tomorrow. Let's see what liveries we have for the 737 MAX. Aircraft. Oh, this is an awesome helicopter, by the way. We got to do some ops with this thing, because this thing has an auto hovering thing that is really difficult, but it is so satisfying when you get it. All right, Q400. I must have went the wrong way. Sorry, we'll get to it. Okay, Concorde. Okay. Okay, so we have Alaska, Copa, Burndon, Fly Dubai, Iceland Air, Lion, Gat, Turkish, United, Aero Mexico. All right, so we got some ideas. Probably going to be an Alaska flight. I think we'll probably go from, I don't know, somewhere to somewhere. But yeah, man, that was fun, man. Sorry if the sound was a little loud in some areas tonight. First time streaming this, so whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll put a filter in here or a limiter and limit it next time. I just got to play with it. Anyways, that's about it, my friends. Good night. See you tomorrow. I got to work till like 6:30 East Coast time tomorrow. Then I got to do some shit for dinner. So I'll be back tomorrow night around the same time. And we'll have some fun with the 737X. That's about it, my friends. I will see you on the next episode of the Airplane Show. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and if there's anything you want to see on Aerofly that you haven't seen yet, or you have a question about, hit me up in Discord or in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. Hit like and subscribe. See ya.